Welcome to the Lightome Sustainable Design podcast series. We talk with the architects and builders about green design and homes that really suit the way we love to live. I'm Amanda Faulkner, and today I'm talking with Design Ambassador Shane Denman. And Shane, this is a lovely home at the beach that you've chosen, Bilinga Beach House, designed by Jim Mullins from Jim Mullins Interior Architecture and Designs in Tweed Heads, and I hear that it's his own home.
Yes, that's correct. Yes, and it's very, probably 100 metres from the beach. It's not actually beachfront, but it's on a small road off the beach.
Why did you choose this project?
I'd admired the house. It's been built for about 4 years, and I'd admired it to pick up the views, even though he wasn't on the beachfront. He designed it with the deck orientated to get the views through, but pick up the sun and the breezes beautifully. So it was always something that I would have liked to have used as a project. They finally have.
Very good. And, were there challenges for him designing this home?
Yeah, he said it was, well, he's got 3 young children. Mm-hmm. He had a fairly limited budget. The site he'd owned for a few years, it had as an old falling down fibro shack on it that they lived in with discomforts. And then, so the main challenge was to get a nice, usable family home at a budget price with featuring his design skills as well.
And, how is it oriented? Was he helped by natural orientation of the lot or not?
Yeah, well, it was facing basically due east, the site. The street faces due south, but he's orientated the house long ways on the block of land to the north, to the east, which is the ocean. And then he's actually made it almost an indoor courtyard with he salvaged the existing frangipani trees. There were some beautiful frangipani trees which he's built the house around, and then he's captured all the breezes, but still getting the view of the ocean. So not an ideal orientation to start with, but he captured it beautifully.
And in terms of, so you've mentioned the capturing the breezes a couple of times. What's the home like when it gets a little cooler? Does he have mechanical heating, or has the home been designed to do that passively?
It's designed to do it passively. It's not a big house. The whole house is lightweight design except for the slab. So the slab, and he's got a 2-storey void facing north, northeast, and that allows the sun to come through and heat up the concrete floor. That's just a polished concrete floor. And he's got windows in the top area that he closes off in the wintertime, and the heat just flows through up into the living space. Is actually on the top floor in this house, not on the bottom, which is a bit different as well, to pick up the breezes and the views and to get that passive heating as well. Mm-hmm. And he said they use minimal heating. They haven't got air conditioning. They don't need that in the summertime because it works the other way around. They lock up they open the top and open the bottom and pick up those breezes that flow through. And
you revealed the cost to us. Are you happy to share that? Because it certainly was when you said one of his objectives was to, build a, like a low budget house, if you like. It certainly has been built very cost effectively, even if it is 4 years ago.
Yes, it is. Yeah, the price was around $330. Obviously, that's without fees and things because he designed it himself. But $330, and if I assume it's 4 years old or around about. If you added 20% to that for today's market, you're around that, around 400, 410 or something. So it's still quite an economical build, and it's around about 270 square metres.
Yeah, so it's about, in today's dollars, that'd be about $1,500 a square metre, which is pretty cost-effective for an architect-designed home, isn't it?
Oh, yes, very.
And so what are some of the things that contribute to that being done cost-effectively?
Mostly the use of just the HardieFlex cladding, with the cover strips. So the 90% of the external house is just the HardieFlex used quite nicely, detailed beautifully, and then there's some timber panelling, which is probably added a bit of extra cost, but again he used just a treated radiata pine shiplap cladding, and so it was sustainable forest timber, and painted that. Windows, he tried to use windows standard size where possible. Use standard roof truss beam systems and everything as much as possible standard shelf materials. So that helped with the price. Also, it was a very simple flat site, no excavation required. Hardly was on sand, so there was some basically just a big rough pad that held the whole house up with a minimum amount of screw piles for it there, which it has to be near the ocean. And finishes inside were quite modest, but again, Jim's beautifully detailed interior is lovely. So he used materials that were cost effective again.
And it's a very simple plan, isn't it? I mean, beautifully detailed, but very simple.
Oh yeah, very simple. Yeah, again, the living area is upstairs. So you've got an upstairs deck, you've got the lounge, dining, kitchen, all basically open plan, and then a bridge link across to another pod which is above the main bedroom below, which is a family room area. So they all orientate to the east-northeast, so they're beautiful, light, sunny, open areas. And then on the ground floor there's the wing below the living area, which is the 3 bedrooms for the children, a little bit of a sunroom play area out the front or sitting area, and then the main bedroom ensuite areas are on the northern side of the house. So it's very simple. It's a double garage there. Also the yard, the house is orientated again around those old frangipani trees that were there, which being such a small footprint gave a great expanse of turfed areas for the kids to play. Actually had 3 young, so it's nice and safe. It's semi-private, and with the planning, it looks very, very nice from the street. Really
and
nice.
So really, I guess with all of those lightweight materials, a lot of the construction just gets done by one group of trades, really, doesn't it? You know, it's very carpenter oriented. It's also got a number of, sort of simple sustainability features. Solar panels, water harvesting. What do they do?
Yeah.
What's the water harvesting system about?
That's just collecting the water off the roof into tanks that is used in the house for non-potable purposes, toilet, washing machine, externally in the garden for irrigation and cleaning purposes. That's been basically the use of that. Also, he's got photovoltaic panels on the roof just to save with the power going of the house. He's used natural gas for the solar water, for the hot water, and all the walls, ceiling, roof, they're all insulated very heavily to help keep the heat in and the cold out.
Fair enough. And is there anything else that you think he's done particularly well?
Yeah, I probably mentioned earlier to start with the use of the lightweight materials with a very simple house, but beautifully detailed, just with the articulation of the external elevations, with the recessing of panels and windows and textures that he's got with the hardy flex with the cover strips, and they're at about 450 centres, these cover strips, and they are just throw beautiful shadows, and even though it's one colour, it gives a feeling that it's painted in like 2 or 3 colours. And that's just on the plain wall basically. Then there's another colour being used for the timber panelling that's on the house, and it's just beautifully done.
So not something that really you would have achieved the same effect in using heavyweight materials, really, is it?
No, not. Well, he wouldn't have done it for the budget to start.
Yeah, well, there's that.
Yeah. And if you used heavyweight materials, you would have to put some added materials on again to feature the way he's featured the plays with light and shade. I think it'd be a lot harder and a lot more expensive.
Yes. All right, well, thank you very much. That sounds like another great demonstration of a Lightome, and so thank you for that, and also thank you for being one of our design ambassadors over the last year.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you.
Okay.